Welcome back to the channel, everybody. I am Bo3 and this is a Raid Shadow Legends video. I am here on WellRested JT, my clan member. Just want to give him a big shout out, Dad Chef as well, aka Dad Chef. So he has asked me to do a little bit of an account takeover, not quite a full account takeover, but he asked me, he said he was having some trouble in Hydra. We're not going to do Hydra today. He said he already did his keys. But he did ask me to maybe just look over some of his champion builds and see if we see anything that to help him improve maybe on some things. He does do pretty well in, as you can see, he's not brand new to the game. He's level 80. He's almost 5 million power. He's got some red dots here. So he's got all of his food happening here, which is very good. All max level, so that's excellent. So let's go ahead and take a peek at his champion roster real quick. And we'll see. He does do... Oh, he's got a Calamitus. Whoa. Damn. Look at this guy. That's sick. Okay. Let me see here. Dude, Calamitus is so cool. Super cool. Calamitus, super cool. He's got Armons. Nice. All right. Let's see. Ooh, wow. He's actually got a lot of really good, like, epics and rares here, like double Cold Heart. That's actually kind of a big deal. This one's 6-star Awoken. That's massive. That's probably sick for Fire Knight. We'll take a peek at some of these things. He's got the Geo, Inquisitor, Shamail. He's got a lot of the really big ones. Fenax, Uga, Whisper, Taragi, Basher, Seeker. Like, these are all very high-end. +3, 5-star Woken, Doom Priest, Farrakhan. These are all very high-end epics. Let's see if he has. So he's got a Pixneal here. That's regular. Let's look what he's got in. He might have stuff in his champion vaults. That let's take a peek ski of everybody here. Suzerain. Ooh, Elva. I'm a big Elva person. Hold on, let's cut that out. Let's go back to the champion vaults. Let's actually just look in his champion vaults here. So a lot of food. No, that's normal. Mine's be looking like that too. And some more food, it looks like. All right, cool. Where was that Elva? Was that Elva there before? I'm a big Elva person. Okay. Yeah, Elva is sick. Hold on. Yeah, she's just there. What we got going on? Masteries? Potential masteries? Yeah, all right. He's working on the masteries. All right, cool. All right, so let's look at what his main champions probably are. We're gonna look to see who. I mean, so this Calamitus is looking like probably a main champion. That's regular. Yeah, I like that. Looks like it's booked and has masteries. Suzerain doesn't look like he's using Suzerain much. It looks like he maybe used him in the past. Regesh, definitely using Regesh. Okay, so I can already see a little something here. That's what's going on. You're gonna want Savage here. We want Savage here. It looks like he's not built for damage, but he's really built for, like, maybe his he's got like medium accuracy, so he's probably just built for like decreased defense. But what we want to do is build him for damage. Like, Regesh does a buttload of damage, and I can kind of see here right off the bat from this Calamitus as well that he's not built for damage. He does have the crit rate and the crit damage, so he does do damage. I'm not saying he's not doing damage. He is doing damage, but he's not built for damage, aka he's not built in savage or lethal, right? He's not built for ignore defense, which is fine. He doesn't necessarily need ignore defense technically. Like, he's probably built more for PvE, which is fine, right? But if you want to do tons and tons of damage, say across the board, you're going to be doing ignore defense, especially against those bosses that have crazy high-end defense. So if you can manage to ignore 100% of their defense, you're going to do a ton of damage, right? Okay, Odin's a little different. Odin doesn't necessarily need ignore defense because he's got an enemy max HP attack here, so he's going to be dealing damage based off enemy max HP. So it's a little bit different. He does do a ton of damage to bosses, so he's very good in that regard. We got a damage dealer here. I wonder if he uses Yukaro regularly. I can also tell here we're looking at kind of slow speeds. Let's look to see what's his Armand speed. So the Armand's is very slow, foreign Armands. So let's see actually what his total speed here is. 232. We're gonna want to look for more speed probably here. 230 as well. Just about 200. So I can see right off the bat 200 that we need to work on speed, right? Just under 200 for the Necmo Thar. What's the Deacon at? Deacon slow too. So what we need to do, Secret. So these are these are your speed champions, right? So when you look for kind of moving and progressing in the game, you want to look for speed. Like speed is going to be important. Like there's different levels of the game, right? When you start the game, you're kind of like at 100 speeds, a very base level speed. Then you kind of progress a little bit, you get into the 200 speeds, and then you progress more. You want to get like your fast champions into the 300 speeds. And then at the more high end, you're pushing like 400, 500 speed, right? So I can see right off the bat that your speeds are low. And that's actually going to be huge for you. When your speeds are high, your champions are going to rotate faster and do things more efficiently against PvE, especially PvE, but definitely in PvP too. We're not going to focus a lot on PvP. What we will do is focus more on PvE. I can tell you right off the bat that your speeds are slow. So you will find a lot of progression when you up your speeds. You're going to want to push your speeds to 300. Let's look for Arbiter. Let's check on your Arbiter stuff. Arbiter is kind of the first champion you get if like for free, right? You could pull champions that are speed champions, like you could get lucky, pull a Shuzen, for example. It's pretty rare, you know. Shuzen, Void, Legendary, there's so many, right? But she is a speed champion. That's a great example. So you could pull a Shuzen and then that would be a speed champion. For example, you got lucky and you pulled Necmo Thar. Necmo Thar, although he doesn't have a crazy speed or it's only 19%, he is one of the top speed champions. He doesn't have a crazy base speed, it's only 104, but he has some of the best speed manipulation in the game, right? He gets the extra turn. His Rune of Haste passive gives him a ton of turn meter. This is increased speed with the extra turn, 30% turn meter boost. This is better than Arbiter's, right? Arbiter is faster. You know, she has a better speed or an arena. But Necmo Thar is comparable. Same with Seeker, right? They do the similar thing with the extra turn, but Seeker doesn't do increased speed, decreased speed like Necmo does. So Necmo is probably one of your best champions right now to be fast with in PvE, especially in Hydra, right? This is going to be one of your main dudes. You get your Necmo up, like your Necmo is 179. If you put your Necmo to like 300, 320, you're gonna see a crazy difference in your game, because what's gonna happen is, even if your other champions are fast, your Necmo is fast, he's gonna be giving tons of turn meter to your whole team. They're gonna be rotating through their abilities and turns way faster, right? Increased speed, giving more, 30% more to everybody's speed. Decreased speed, making that gap of turn meter just enormous. That's where I think you're struggling, just right off the bat. Just from looking at your account for just a few minutes here, I can tell your speed needs to be a lot higher. You'll find out in a ton of different situations in the game, through your hard dungeons, your regular dungeons, Hydra, your bosses in Doom Tower Hard. Speed is key in this game. It is the king, actually. So right off the bat, we'll look for some of that. So when you look for things like your speed gear, like for example, your speed gear will be speed set, right? So when you look at your speed set, bonus here, the set bonus is 12% speed. This is what you call speed gear, right? So when you have speed gear, you want speed substats. And you want them, you see how there's a 1 here? You want that to be like 4. You know what I mean? The more like average rolls are going to be like 2 and 3. But when you see 4 here, that's like what you're really that's your goal. And if you're doing like Dragon Hard 10 or hard mode Dragon, you're getting mythic speed here, speed gear. You want the red speed substat with like the 4, and that's your 5 speed roll. That's the highest speed you can get, speed rolls you can get in the game in a way. And then you can kind of manipulate your substats. So like, for example, speed is the most base speed gear. We'll look for some more here. What else do you have for speed gear here? divine speed. This is your better speed, right? This is speed with a shield, 12% speed with a shield. So this is gear. You want to keep this gear with speed substats. If it doesn't have speed substat on your speed gear, you're probably going to just trash it, right? So let's see if you have any. So perfect example here. So for 6-star gear, 6 speed is the highest speed roll you can have. 5 is the lowest. And if you're looking at 5-star speed gear, 4 is the lowest and 5 is the highest. But 6 is the highest. We would love to roll this to just 12, just to see if you can get any speed on here. If you get a 1 or a 2, maybe you consider going to 16. So the difference in average silver spending, it's about 200k average, give or take some more, right? It's an average of 200k silver to go to 12 plus 12. And it's about an average, give or take some, about 2 million silver to go from 12 to 16. Okay, now it can give or take. Sometimes it's like 1 million to get to 16. Sometimes it's like 3 million to get to 16, right? So an average of 2 million to go from 12 to 16. That's why I always roll epic and legendary gear and mythic gear to 12 first. If it's blue gear, you can only get a max of a 2 roll, so I only rolled 8 first. And if it's like a double speed roll, then I potentially roll it to 12 and 16. But for legendary gear, roll to 12 first. You'll save a ton of silver that way. All right, that's just a little tip there. We'll probably roll this later. I haven't looked at how much silver he has, but we'll probably start rolling some speed gear, doing a rebuild on Necmo to start. It's going to take time, right? It's going to take time to get that much speed gear, that much silver. It takes time, but we'll start it today. All right, so that's another example. Swift Parry is speed gear. It's a 4-set speed gear, so it's a lot slower. This is really built for your 50% chance of unkillable from a fatal hit. This is very niche speed gear, but it is speed gear nonetheless. All right, let's look for some more. My favorite speed gear, I don't see you have any here, is protection. Protection does give very good speed throughout the whole thing. Protection is very important for many reasons. We'll talk about protection in just a minute here. Instinct is similar to Swift Parry, except for it's ignore defense. So this is like speed nuker gear in a way. And Impulse is probably some of the best speed gear in the game, giving the 12 on a 2-piece set with the kind of reflex ability with the 12% chance to reduce. And this can go up to 3, right? So this is 36% speed with a 36% chance of the skill cooldown, right? So this is some of the best speed gear in the game. If you can get, this is hard to get because it's from Live Arena, but if you can get speed substats on this type of gear, you're going to be in very good shape for specific things. Righteous is hard to come by. Righteous is a forge set. It's a forge pass set, so it's a paid for set. But this is actually very good speed gear. 2-piece for 10, high resistance. It's very good. So like for example, you got a 1 here. That's solid. It's hard to come by, so even that's fine. Supersonic is also very good. Hard to come by because it's Cursed City gear. But this is also speed gear. At 3 you get 10, at 5 you get the other 10, so at 5 pieces you get 20. This is good because you can have accessories for this. This is very end game gear. And at 8 you get another 12, so a total of 10, 20, 32%. This is the same as protection, so very similar to that. Very good speed gear. Barrel and Pinpoint are good for speed in their 2 pieces, for their accessories. So right they're 2 pieces. 5% for Feral, 10% for Pinpoint. Rebirth is also from the seasonal Live Arena, is the opposite of Pinpoint. Instead of the accuracy, it's the resistance, but it's 10% at 2. So what you do is you stack your 36% here, and then you get the extra 10 down here, and that's how you maximize your speed set bonuses. Your substats are really going to be your base speeds, and then you're always going to want speed here. You seem to know that. So speed on the boots is super important for speed champions specifically. So let's go ahead and look. This is how you look for your fastest gear, right? You go to filter. You go to speed boots, we'll look at separately. But then you go to priority here, speed, high, right? And then you just hide set filters. This is going to be your fastest rolled up gear, right? So you have a triple roll speed here on Defiant. This is not speed set, but this has your highest base speed. And if you hit equipped, now you see, so this shield is a triple roll speed shield. This is your best speed shield right here. Then this would be your best speed helmet. Perception is also one, we didn't look over that, but it's very much like the early Pharaoh. Still very strong. 2 speed roll here, 2 speed roll here, 2 speed roll here, 2 speed roll here. So you can see here, this is some of the better speed gear you have. What you want to do is probably consolidate some of this. I don't want to take all your champions gear off of your champions because you utilize them. But what you're going to want to do, we'll start probably with Necmo, right? Because I don't see Necmo in the top here at all. The problem is I don't want to strip some of your champions that you're using. This is rolled to 12 as well. This is rolled to 16. I know you like Odin, so we're not going to strip Odin. So this is how you do it. What we're going to do is we're going to roll new gear if you have it. So that's you want your Armons to be super fast, right? You have him in the unkillable, and that makes sense in a way because you don't want him to die if he's too slow. But what you want to do at some point is have him be so fast that you're not worried about him dying, right? You're worried about him just going first and getting that A2, that greatest hits off, kind of screwing the whole team right away. That's so eventually you won't need this, right? Because he'll just be fast enough, right? So that's kind of where we're at here. That's the speed. Let's talk about nukers, right? So we'll talk about, it looks like you have Vlad in a nuker build here in a way, right? So he's got his ignore defense. I wonder if he's in Helm Smasher. Doesn't have masteries quite yet, but you do have him in Impulse, which is cool. I mean, he doesn't technically need to be super fast as a nuker. You can have him be 200. Preferably you want him to be a little bit faster than this, but that's okay. Right, so like I said, so let's look at your gear for like nuker gear, right? So your nuker gear is going to be, in a way, your nuker gear, in a very small way, your crit damage set, but really mainly we're talking about Savage, right? Savage is going to be your go-to nuker set, ignore 25% defense. This is how you do damage in the game. The game has shifted into this for doing more damage, especially for non-enemy max HP champions. That does affect them, but enemy max HP damage is capped, whereas non-enemy max HP damage is not capped, so you can scale the damage actually a lot higher in the very end game when you have crazy god tier gear. But this is what you're going to look for. So really, nuker gear like Savage, you want the substats to be, this is cool because speed here, but you want it to be speed, but you want it to be crit rate and crit damage, right? You want those 3 specifically, and it's really in the gloves. So when you're using nuker, exactly, crit damage on the gloves, but you want crit rate as well. They don't have to have crit rate, but it just makes things easier when you have the substats for crit rate in general. So this is proper, but you want it to be the 100% crit rate as well. So your crit damage is always happening all the time. The only time it's not happening is when it's affinity, right? When you weak hit. So you probably know this, but we're just going over it in general, and that's going to be how you build your nuker gear specifically. So let's actually real quick look at your speed boots. I'm curious here. So primary stat, speed. So these are going to be your speed boots. I'm curious. Let's go to hide set filter, see who's got what. So Armand's has your best speed mythical swift parry boots. That's pretty cool. Triple accuracy. That's awesome. Same with Gaius. These are good boots here. These are pretty good boots here. Crit rate, crit damage. You got the right idea here, for sure. Okay, so it's looking like your account has 3 16 speed boots for legendary. We're coming down here. I'm curious if you utilize, how often you utilize AOX. Nice. Yeah, so you got the idea in a way here. Okay. This gives me a good idea of kind of where you're at here. I actually love this champion. Here's the other thing. I just want to say this real quick. These sets here, this base set that you start the game with, like life set, offense set, defense set, this kind of just bad gear, right? Resistance. You kind of don't need this here. There is now a kind of, really, you don't need accuracy anymore because perception. You can just get that, just do your faction wars every day. So it's really like these. You don't really need these anymore. Fury, I almost never use Fury. Frost, Frenzy, I almost never use these. Immunity. Shield, there is, like, if you're doing a shield growth, but I almost never use this, right? Regen, very good in solo strats. Cursed, very good. Daze, you might need to keep now because of hard faction wars. Some of the hard faction wars stuff you might need some days for, but very rare. Lifesteal, probably don't even need this. So a lot of the more like sets that you're probably going to just be using is speed, potentially crit damage, curse for Hydra, regen for solo, relentless you'll use, savage you'll use, destroy you can use for like a Vergis and a solo scarab build, stun for like Curse City and a hard faction wars. Toxic, there's a case for toxic in some fashion, but you don't need a lot of toxic. Provoke, you can use provoke. Retaliation, maybe small niche use for retaliation. Avenging, I don't really use avenging. Stalwart, reflex is still very good. Curing, very niche. Cruel is like an early nuker set, but savage is really going to be where you go. So I keep some cruel. Same with immortal, some immortal to pair with your regen for the solo builds. Divine crit rate, you don't need. Divine life, you don't need. Divine speed, you will keep for speed. Swift parry, very niche, you'll keep for some speed stuff. Deflection, very niche. Resilience, not really. Perception, yes. Untouchable, not really. Fatal, not really. Bloodthirst, not really. Fortitude, not really. Lethal, yes. Stone Skin, yes. Killstroke, yes. Instinct, yes. Bolster, niche, but yes. Defiant, niche, but yes. Impulse, yes. Zeal, yes. Righteous, niche, but yes. Supersonic, yes. Merciless, yes. Feral, yes. So those are really the ones you want to focus on. And the one we didn't see here is protection. You want to keep all your protection gear. Protection is super important for Chimera, for Hydra, for all content in the game. Protection is probably one of the top sets in the game, in my opinion, for sure. I think it's probably a community consensus that protection is one of the best sets in the game. So real quick here, these are the champions, if I was you, that I would be focusing on. Obviously Calamitous is insane, especially after his buff. Regesh, Odin. It looks like your speed aura would be, for arena right now, would be Artor and Armon. So I would say even Artor. Where's your Silda Drakes? Am I missing something here? Ooh, I didn't see this. That's cool. Did you feed your Silda Drakes? I'm sad if you fed your Silda Drakes. I think I'm lagging here a little bit. What's going on? Yeah, we're lagging. Okay, we're out of the lag. Ooh, Lady Annabelle. Silda Drakes is actually a stud. She is so good. I must be missing her somewhere here. Am I? No, there's no Silda Drakes. Are you just that early in the game? Let's look at your Arbiter missions too. No, we don't want this. Oh, okay. You're still working on your Arbiter missions. Yeah, this is going to be massive for you when you get Arbiter. She's going to be great, not only to have Arbiter herself, but it'll unlock these missions for you. And going for these champions are Ramontu's insane. Marius is probably debatably one of the best champions of the game, so it'll be worth going for those. But definitely to start out with Arbiter, not only will you get some Sacred Shards and books, getting Arbiter will be massive. You also get all these rewards along the way. So this is very important. Definitely don't neglect these missions. Okay. Let's see what... so you don't have a whole lot of silver for me to work with here. So I'm probably not going to be able to do a whole lot to start here. But that's okay. We can make this an like a progressional thing in a series if you'd like. And but these are my initial thoughts. Because you don't have Arbiter, which is totally fine. Artor is obviously your speed lead for Arena, 25, right? And Armon's 28. So here's what I would do. I would change him to Intimidating Presence and not Brimstone, and I'll tell you why. He doesn't do anything that requires accuracy in a way, right? He has no reason to have accuracy, and this is not a 6-star blessing for Brimstone, so you require accuracy for this smite. So I would take this and change this to Intimidating Presence, which is going to be right here. This is going to give you a 4-star aura increase. So that would be your strengthen your team aura by 7.5% and weaken your enemy team by 10%. This is very powerful in Arena. It's also very powerful in general. So I see you have Calamitous in Intimidating Presence. This, personally, I would change this to Soul Reaper. I would change this to a damaging one. I'm a big fan of Soul Reaper. I'm a little biased. I would change it to Soul Reaper. There is a debate for Heaven Cast because of extra damage, depending on how many buffs you use on your team. There's also a debate for Nature's Wrath, which will give him bonus damage because he puts out a lot of debuffs, right? He's putting out a ton of debuffs. I will say that there is nothing worse for a nuker than to leave this much damage on a champion and just not quite kill them, when you, even on stuff like when you have Heaven's Wrath or Heaven's Cast or Nature's Wrath. So the Reaper kind of finishes that off for you. It's also very good against bosses. You can ignore the last little bit of their damage. I don't see any of your champions in Soul Reaper, so I would change, personally, I would change this. Well, you have Suzerain in Soul Reaper, but I think, no, he's in your main. Okay, yeah, this is very strong. This is very good. But yeah, I would still change this to probably Nature's Wrath or Soul Reaper, personally. Yeah, I wouldn't have him in Brimstone. This Brimstone is fine. I would also change this to Intimidating Presence. This would help you in Arena. Having these two in Intimidating Presence will help you in Arena. You'd want maybe a Cruelty somewhere. I would change him into, when you get one for him, I'd change him into Intimidating Presence as well. Put him in Intimidating Presence. But really, like, she could be in Cruelty instead of Heaven's Cast. She doesn't do really any damage, but what she does do is a ton of buffs. And I have her built in 9 pieces of protection on some of my best accounts. And because she puts out a ton of buffs, right? Where is it? She's putting out increased defense, but right here she's putting out a ton of buffs. She does put out some debuffs, but it's not important. She's putting out a ton of buffs, and then she's buff extension right here. So she's actually really good for that. I would put her in Cruelty probably. That way you can decrease enemy defense through her attack here and through her AoE here. This Brimstone is fine here. He kind of wants Brimstone because he wants accuracy, right? He's putting out the decreased defense and weaken. This is very important. The Reaper on Suzerain is fine. This is fine. He doesn't do a ton of damage. He also does do decreased defense and weaken in the same move. I believe it's this one. It's just not 100%, but it is strong. I would honestly change this to brimstone, because this would become a protected brimstone. And then but I see that why you have this in the Reaper, because it's the 5 Reaper. Having 5 Reaper does, like I said, I'm biased for Reaper. It ignores like 14%, right? You don't have to kill the last 14%, so you can keep this here. But yeah, I would change him into Reaper though, personally. That's kind of what I would do. Lethanaril, this is actually a really good champion for ally attacks. It looks like he's not quite built yet, but he's very, very good. Same with Necrit. Like, having Necrit, I mean, this is amazing, right? Necrit's amazing. Necrit I would build in Stone Skin. Probably more likely in Stone Skin, or in Protection. Right, because his passive's putting out a bunch of buffs that are, the allied protection is protected, but the other ones aren't. He is actually super good, but I'd probably put him in Stone Skin, at least 1 turn of stone, like 4 pieces of Stone Skin, 2 on, because what you could do is you could put him in Bolster, and then you could put him in Stone Skin, or you could put him in like Defiant and Stone Skin, things like that. He's very tanky, right, and he makes your other champions tanky. It looks like this is cool, right? But I would put him in Stone Skin as well. Just put him in 6 pieces of Stone Skin, and that's how I would build him personally. I'd build Blakehat in all protection, but I see where your struggling is, because I know you asked me to help you with Hydra. You've been struggling in Hydra, so once we get your Hydra team squared away, you will, where's your Vizix? Tell me you didn't get rid of Vizix either. Vizix is very, very good in Hydra. So hold on 1 second. Let me look at your daily logins. Oh my god. You just haven't gotten there yet. That's amazing. Good for you. Oh man, once you get Silda Drakes and once you get Vizix, bro, oh, it's over. Dude, you've made tons of progress in just a few days of playing. You're at day 140. This is amazing. You are doing an excellent job. Good for you. Good for you. This puts a whole new spin on the way I look at your account, actually, because this is such a brand new account that you're just absolutely beasting, right? So you're doing great, to say the least. You're doing excellent. Let me look at your clan boss team actually real quick here. You said you do 3 to 4 key Ultra Nightmare. So where are you here? Have you done any? Not quite yet. So let's go ahead and look at the team you're using here. This is a great team. I'm trying to think. Have you tried to use Odin right here? This looks like it's trying to be like an unkillable team. Team setup. Looks like a team setup. Okay. You try to do an unkillable team. It looks like that's gonna be speed. That's speed tune team. The unkillable teams are speed tune teams. You would have to change your speeds, like I was saying earlier, to deal with that. Honestly, let me look at your Razin. I don't really use Razin. He's very old school. It's very, very old school. Let me look at Razin here. I do have Razin built. Okay. So still can be a lot of improving here. A lot of level 12 gear, I see. Okay. But that's just because your account is so new. Like, you're in a great, I mean, we don't have any plussing here, right? So yeah, so you're actually, I mean, you're doing amazing. I'm not used to accounts like looking like this quite for some time because they're so new. Usually people who ask me to help them, they've been playing for a long time, and they've been struggling for a long time. So because you're such a new account, you're doing an amazing job. To have Calamitous in the first 140 days that's mind-blowing to me, and that's just great RNG, right? You got super lucky. There's still a lot of people in the game who haven't pulled a mythic and they've been playing for a long time. So it's actually a beautiful thing. Let's look at your Odin. I think your Odin will probably do a little bit better than your Raz for damage. And you don't need the decreased defense, but his enemy max HP is going to do wonders, and his strip is going to do wonders, right? So that the Demon Lord's not getting that increased attack. So it looks like you're using Elva as well. But what you need to do is up your speeds. That's really what it's going to boil down to. Is she in speed? Yeah, she is in speed boots. Okay. HP percent. This you must be looking for the resistance for, right? Because you don't want this to be crit damage for her. But you also have the speed here, so I can see where you're coming from in a way here. Yeah, you're just really looking for the speed there. Yeah, you're just looking for speed. So you understand the speed. Banners is going to be huge. You want speed on your banner, but you're looking for the resistance. I totally understand that. Hey, look at this. A little protection, spicy. Yeah, so you're just looking for that. And yeah, so you were looking for the resistance on this. This might, depending on how this rolls, if this rolled like triple speed, this might actually be better. But I wouldn't go ahead and change that yet. And getting the masteries done is going to be a massive thing for you. From what I see, it looks like you're completely free to play, and you've maybe, I mean, this is a lot of gems, but you may have just saved all your gems too. So you have a lot of gems here, but saving and just saving these is really important, and I would continue saving these for a special time, like for a fusion, and then just getting your energy every day and where you can is just going to be so important for you to get as many fights in. That's why you're so high level, is because you're doing that, and which is amazing. Your account progress is actually phenomenal for I don't really think you're doing a whole lot wrong, to be honest. You're really doing a lot of things right, and I can only give you direction because you don't have the resources for me to really do anything at this moment. But we can work on this together, and I mean, you're doing great, like speed here, but you don't want to spend too much on that. Let's look at your dungeons. Let me look at your dungeons, because what you're gonna want to do is farm a lot of dragon for speed gear. So let's look at your dragon right here, and you do dragon, man. Excellent. Yeah, so I would farm stage 20, which is probably what you do. Who do you use? This is your dragon team. Okay. I want to use your energy, but I don't want to use your energy at the same time because I'm just curious how the stuff works. Let me go into arena and see how some of your champions work here. We have arena fights. Yeah, let's look at your arena. You're in gold 5, so this is great. I mean, this doesn't look like a crazy team, so let's see what we got going on for arena here. So you're looking to make Odin himself faster, and the Necrit, which doesn't matter. Let me look at, what's your Odin speed again? 215. 232. I mean, it's not a massive difference here. I probably would personally have the Armons in the lead, just because he's got a better speed aura for everybody. But I mean, this is fine. Making himself faster, he's probably 40% faster. He's probably comparable to your arm monster. It's probably about the same, to be honest. But let's go ahead and just check this real quick. And I'm going to have some coffee. And then we'll look at your Hydra. Honestly, at 140, Hydra is going to be very difficult for you at 140 days because it's very much based, so we are slower. Okay. I mean, I think we still probably win this fight. I've never played with Calamitous before. This is going to be cool. Let me see here. I kind of want to swap him up into the big daddy form. Nice. This is the ally attack. I've never played with Necro before either, so that's cool. Yeah, so honestly, I think it's just your speeds. You probably know that it's just your speeds, but I mean, dude, the buff on Calamitous is wild. I would definitely change this into Nature's Wrath or Reaper though, and I would definitely change both of these into Intimidating Presence. That's gonna help you in PvP and PvE. So you're probably losing all the speed races to the Arbiters and the speed lead champions here, so we're not going to fight any of them. The Harima's probably hard to deal with. Lady Mikage probably hard to deal with. Let's refresh this. Let's see if we can beat this team. I know they're low level, but it's not necessarily about level. It sometimes is about how long you've played. You can be low level and have played for a very long time. And still be, like, I do that a lot. I slow play a lot of my accounts. A lot of my accounts have been around for like 2 years, you know, but they're only level like 60 or 70. So level is kind of deceiving in a way. But I think this guy is probably less powerful, to be completely honest. Your champions are very, very powerful. Your champions are very powerful. Having the Calamitous, having the Odin, having the Armons, it's just a different caliber of champion. His really only caliber champions here are Alice and He-Man. Skeletor's garbage. Drexstar's garbage. Drexstar, yeah, he's got some solo viability in like some stuff that needs HP burns, but it's not really. He's really old school. He's bad. He needs a buff. Not like Calamitous, who's insane now. GG's to that. Probably beat this fight too. Same level as you in a way. But these champions are no caliber to these fights. But I'm really just trying to test out some things that you got going on. It's hard sometimes to hop onto an account and then just immediately go from there. Raid is a very slow play game. Nothing in Raid happens fast unless you spend a ton of money, which nobody is really trying to do. So we're just gonna get rid of him for a second here. I'm curious about his first form. How, like, I mean, these are weak champions. We probably absolutely destroy them. So yeah, we'll just swap them. Yeah, we'll just keep doing it. I'm curious, what's the A2? Oh, he's a buff stripper too? Holy crap. Bro, they really did the job on Calamitous, didn't they? Wow. Calamitous is beast. Yeah, so having Calamitous that's something serious. I wonder if you've tried using Odin instead of Razin on your Demon Lord team. I'm trying to think, what do you usually do? Actually, let's look at the Hydra real quick. He said he did his 3 keys. Let's see where he's at for Hydra. Did you do all 3 keys in hard? Odin is going to be hard to use in Hydra. Because of his block damage, right? He can get the Head of Mischief stolen. Not just on him, on anybody. The Head of Mischief will target whoever has the most buffs. And if that champion has the block damage and the resistance is not very high, they can have the block damage stolen and then spread, so you're not going to deal any damage. So Odin is very hard to use in Hydra. I almost don't suggest using him in Hydra because of that. It's very niche. You're going to need high-end gear to use Odin in Hydra. The rest of this team looks good. It's a similar thing with Elva, though. You're going to need... She has high resistance herself. And I'm trying to think... Like, Elva is really good in Hydra, but you either need to have a Mischief tank or high resistance across the board to make sure her block debuffs doesn't get stolen and spread. So that can be hard to deal with, but she is very good in Hydra. She's one of the best like healer revivers in the game because of her perfect veil capability. She rotates her abilities very fast, increased speed. She's a great champion. So let me see. I would personally not do this where you have all 3 fights that are weak. I would consolidate your teams into one good team first and then kind of master Hydra with one good team, especially in the early game where you're level 80, so you're high level, but you're still in the early game. You've only played, this account has only been played for 140 days. That is microscopic time play compared to the 6 years this game has been around, right? So you will see noticeable difference when you get Silda Drakes and Vizix, especially Vizix. Not so much Silda Drakes, like you have Godseeker, you know what I'm saying? But Silda Drake's passive healing is very, very good. And she's very good. She's very tanky. So she can actually live through a lot of stuff. And she doesn't matter if she's CC'd, she's still going to heal no matter what. Unlike many champions where if they're CC'd, they crowd controlled, they're not going to do their healing. And it makes Silda Drake's kind of a different, she's built a little bit different. And she gets a bad rep because she's an old champion and she's a free champion. But she's very, very good. I use her a lot on many accounts and she holds it down. Like she's the roots of some teams, right? Hold on, I didn't mean to do that. But what I would do here is these are all proper champions in a way. But like I'd use Necmo for sure. You need an HP burner, which you have Sissia. So I'd use Necmo, Sissia, Elva. Necmo, Sissia, Elva. And then I'd use Calamitus, obviously. And you need a provoker. So I don't think I see a provoker on your list. Because what happens is, and I have a Hydra video, but you need to follow the mechanics of the Hydra. So you need to fill the proper roles for a team. Which you kind of do in a way, but you need a provoker for the head of Head of Decay. I'm just having a blank here for a second. So let's look at the provokers you have. I just clicked it. Iron Brago is actually very good. Seeker is very good. Taragi is very good. Vogoth is very good. These are good provokers, right? War Chief is a good provoker. The thing is, you want it to be AoE. But here's the thing. If you're going to manual it, you need to learn how to play manual. So a lot of people don't do it manually. I love to do it manually. I used to do it more often than not. But they do the quick battle, and I'm kind of too far in the game to be doing it manual anymore. But I used to love manualing it. So here's the thing. UDK only provokes on the A1, and it's not 100% chance, so he's not really a good provoker. War Chief, I'm not that familiar with. You need books for him. He does provoke like everything. You can use him as your provoker. I would build him first, get him like fully built. You know, I don't think he does. Yeah, it's just the A1. And it's 75% chance, which is pretty good, but it's just the A1. You'll have to hit the head of decay at the proper times. Goffred. He's doing it on the A1 as well. I don't really suggest people using the provoke for the A1s. Iron Brago I would suggest doing, but you need to book him. He does do it. He's doing it at 75% of the time, but it's a 3-turn cooldown. It's pretty good. Seeker is very good. It's on the A1, but it's a double hitter. But he's giving you kind of that boosty stuff. But I also wouldn't really suggest it quite yet for him. It's not like a main team kind of thing. Now, Taragi is different. I do suggest using Taragi. Taragi is very good. He doesn't have the 100%, but he's just really good in general. Vogoth is a similar way. He's very good in general. It's not 100%, but it's very high percent. We're talking like 75%. Duke is very good. Duke, same thing. It's 75%. But you have the chance to do it for, or no, it's 2 turns. 2 enemies, but yeah, so you don't have, it doesn't look like you have, oh, you have Umbral Enchantress. Umbral Enchantress, low-key, one of the best Hydra provokers in the game. She does it at 100%. She does kind of lock herself out, but it doesn't matter. You just want her for the provoke, right? Now, there is another thing you could do that is very, very good, but kind of hard to do. And where is he? Where's Necmo? You could build Necmo in a provoke set. Like you just have to make him fast, right? You put him in 4 pieces of provoke set, because what he's doing is AoE everything, right? So he's got a very high chance to do the provoking because he's moving so fast, taking many turns. So a lot of people actually build Necmo in either provoke or cursed. You don't need to build him in cursed because you have Big Daddy Calamitus. But I would highly suggest building Necmo in provoke set for Hydra specifically. And that way you can build him in, like, you can get your 2 pieces of pinpoint down here, get him in your speed here, or 2 speed and then 4 provoke, but just have high provoke speed substats and accuracy substats, right? So that's another really, really good suggestion there. This is going to be your HP burner. You want HP burn on your Hydra team because the not the Head of Suffering. I'm getting confused now. Where's the names at? There we go. Yeah, so the Poison Cloud one. Where is he at? Oh, I can't even look at it. The head that does the Poison Clouds. Poison Cloud, you need a block. So like you have Ugo. I'm pretty sure I saw Ugo. Ugo you're going to want on the main team. I didn't say that before, but you're going to want Ugo on the main team because I'm pretty sure Ugo is probably your only block buffs champion. This debuff is mad important. Oh, he does it too? Where? Oh, it's on this. This isn't, you don't want to do this. That's not, yeah, you're going to want him in the second form more than likely for Hydra because of the Hex and decreased defense. He also ignores Life Barrier and Poison Cloud, so this is actually really important. Yeah, so I'd probably use him only in the second form for Hydra. But, oh, you could do this too. Deliana. You could build her in a provoke set. I've seen people do that. You could build her in provoke or cursed. You could use this guy as well. He does it. Where is it? Right here. This is actually very good. He does it at 100% too. You could use him. Ugo, you already have built. Ugo is one of the best champions to do this with. She is amazing. Commanding presence. Interesting. Oh, this is, yeah, okay. This is the low-end intimidating presence. Yeah, this isn't bad. I would just get yourself in some intimidating presence stuff. This isn't bad, though. It is 4-star, so. But yeah, Ugo for sure, right? Block buffs. She does it too, but if you use her for the provoke, you're going to get yourself protected block active, so you're not going to really be using it much. You could use it situationally for both, but just use Ugo, and then go ahead and put your Necmo in probably provoke set, and then you got your Hex here, HP burns from Sissia, and then you could use like your Elva for your perfect veils, your reses, your heals. That's probably, actually, you probably don't need Silda Drakes that much. You have Elva, but Silda Drakes is very good. You also have Glaycad, who's actually really good for that too. With the perfect veil, he does damage bonus too. You have the team to do good damage on Hydra. The thing is, you're so early in the game that you just need to, I'd say, not even really worry too much about Hydra. Just worry about getting like the early chest, the earliest chest, so you can get Mithrala, right? Where are you at for Mithrala? Mithrala is actually very good. Where are you at for Mithrala? Yeah, so you're a long ways away, but it looks like you have some Mithrala, so you are getting the chest. Did you get the chest today or this week for your damage? I would also fight normal and not hard. Don't try and fight hard. You're not going to be able to do the damage here right away. See how you only did 4.23 for your 3 keys? You didn't quite make it, but if you had used your keys in normal, you would have made it here. You know what I'm saying? So don't fight hard, just fight normal. You're still so early in the game. I know you want to get farther, but you're still so early in the game that just take it easy. Just fight normal. Make sure you're getting these chests 100% of the time. We kill all these. We kill all the way up to, we kill all these every week. So just get your normal, work on some of these things. We'll work on it together over time. And I think that's probably going to be the best thing for you to do at this very moment. And next time we can actually work on some things, save up some silver. But I know it's going to be hard because you want to upgrade. Cause you're still so early in the game. You know what I mean? It's really refreshing, actually. Like, I'm proud of you, man. You did really good. You're doing a really good job. Look at this. That's wild. You're doing really, really well, dude. Just keep doing what you're doing. There's really not a whole lot I can really do for you at this very moment. But I think you're doing fantastic. And looks like you're saving up some shards. You know, this is great. Saving some shards. It's good that you're doing live arena. You mentioned that. Work on these. Now for this, just a real quick heads up, you don't want to spread out too much, especially now that you're pushing silver stuff here. To get Arbiter, you're going to need 1 at level 10. So just focus one of these at level 10 to get it to level 10 so you can get your Arbiter. I'll tell you that straight up. So go ahead and stop doing all this extra stuff. Just pick one of these. Pick one of these that are 5. And honestly, I would just pick this one, this green one, for your Necmo. Who else do you have? Spirit Affinity that uses accuracy. Okay, everybody. So go ahead and just pick Spirit. Now, Spirit is the weakest affinity in the meta for live arena right now, but that doesn't matter. You're not far enough in the game really to be worried about that. So don't even worry about that. Just go. You already have it at 5. You don't have a lot of magic affinity champions that are you're using. I mean, you could pick, I mean, Armand's, there's a huge debate for the Armand's one, but really I would just pick, honestly, yeah, I'd probably just pick this one. But since you already have these ones at 5, I mean, getting this to 5 is not going to be crazy for you. You know what I'm saying? So maybe I would just pick Magic for the Armons. That'll help you a lot in hard Doom Tower and in Doom Tower. But I would pick one of these two for Nekmothar here, and for you know, your Ragesh, your Calamitus, or pick Magic for your Armons. But I would pick one of these two here and bring it to 10 so you can get Arbiter going. Just a little quick tip. We're going to end the video here because we're pushing an hour, and I know I didn't do really anything but talk and explain about the account, but it's really all I can do at this very moment. You know, I'm very grateful to WellRested for letting me hop onto his account, play with Calamitus a little bit, aka Dad Chef. You're the man. You look like you have a really good understanding of what you're doing at this very moment. What I will say though, and I'll say it one more time just for the end of the video, just work on your speeds, and you probably know this already, but I think you're doing a great job. You have, I mean, dude, you have a ton of champions that are really good for being 140 days into the game. Especially Calamitus, especially Odin, especially Armons. Having the AoE decreased defense and weaken in Draco is insane. Vlad, very strong after his buff. Ragesh, very strong. Necrit, very strong. Blakehad, very strong. Sissia is very strong, actually. Canderfin, very strong. Gaius, very strong. Joffred, low-key, passive, strong. Elva, super strong. Jintoro is very good in Clan Boss 2, actually, for the same reason as Razin. Nekmo, very strong. Walking Tombdrang is very strong. Lord Chamfer, low-key, insanely cheesy for Twin Iron Fortress, and I'll show you why. His passive gives him the decreased speed passively every time the Twin Iron Fortress hits him, which is all the time because it's always using AoEs. So the Twin Iron Fortress will always have decreased speed on him, which means he will never get that passive turn meter increase, which is what a lot of people mess up with and why the Twin Iron Fortress kills them. So I don't know if the reviews show that. Yeah, they do. He is the cheese for Twin Iron Fortress, so very good. Walking Tombdrang in a full regen Immortals set will solo tons of content. You just get him to like 100k HP with the regen Immortal solo stuff going on. This is a hardcore carry for Sand Devil. I use Godseeker in this guy for Sand Devil 25 on my Bow 3CS account and my Kukulane account. So you can cheese Sand Devil easy with this guy. You have a ton of great champions, man. You got a great like Seeker, Taragi, Venomage, insane. Whisper, insane champion. Fenax, insane. You have probably all Ugo, Geo, Godseeker, Shamael, Demitha. You probably have all of the great epic champions. Maneater, Rector, Bogoth, Double Cold Hearts. Like, these are insane for Fire Knight. So let me look at these builds. You need to get gear on some of these champions, but like some of the actual gear sets, you're probably looking to get out of some of these soon here. But because you're so early in the game, it's going to be kind of difficult for you to do that, especially since you're limited on energy and silver. And I don't want to go through your gems. Not in this video, maybe in a different video in the future, but I think you're doing great, man. It was very refreshing, and we'll talk a little bit more in Discord about the direction of your account, where you kind of want to go. Maybe next week you let me get in and do some Hydra stuff, but we'll work on it. I would say, real quick for the very end, go. So block buffs, you want Ugo. HP burns, you want your Sissia. Your engine would be Nekmo. Put them in a provoke set, and there you go. I would use either Glakehat or Elva, probably Elva. And then your Hex Champion, Calamitus. You're going to want one more nuker. because your damage is going to come from Calamitous and Sissia at this very moment. And I would say try to maybe throw in because you already have decreased defense and weaken here, so you don't need Draco. But oh, instead of Sissia, you could use Walking Tomb Drain as well. Maybe even like Doom Priest just for extra heals, or maybe even UDK. You could throw in like Suzerain. That 6th slot will be kind of up to you. But as of right now, I think that would be it. For a really good team, you could even use Deliana in a provoke set to kind of double up on your provokes just to make sure it happens, and then work on your speeds. Yeah, I think that's kind of how I would go with it. Or like Iron Brago in a way. You could even go with Countess Lix for the decreased speed, which is very important too, and for cooldown decrease, so you can get through your abilities even faster. You could even go like that. She's very squishy though, so but yeah, that's kind of how I go. You could even go like Necrit maybe. It's hard because you don't want the Head of Mischief to steal all the buffs and spread them, right? So he's your buff remover too, right? In the second form, he removes buffs. His second form is going to be before attack, remove all buffs. Oh, it's or debuffs from this champion. Never mind. Just kidding. I read that wrong. So who removes buffs on your account? You could use Odin as your buff stripper then, yeah. Yeah. Let's look at other effects. Is that negative effects? Remove buffs. Suzerain removes buffs? Oh, it's conditional. It's conditional. Odin probably your best bet actually too with the... Yeah, so maybe Odin would take that six slot since he's built too. I think that's kind of how I would go. Alright, you guys, that's going to be the end of this video for now. WellRested, aka Dad Chef, thank you so much for letting me use your account and play with it. And we'll talk some more in Discord about it. And thank you for joining the Clan of Bows. You're the man. And everybody, I hope you enjoyed. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. And have a great day. Goodbye.